the second question, please Maha, return.
It's about the concept of the Dajjal.
Yes,
and
that's right. Now, the point is, if in the prophecies, the Messiah who is promised by Hazrat Rasulullah Sallam as Isa ibn Maryam, he would descend. If this is what he meant literally to be the same Messiah as was born at the end of Moses' Ummah, if this is the meaning, then the prophecy, the whole prophecy has to be taken literally. And all that is mentioned in the prophecy must be taken literally. Jesus is literal, Dajjal is literal, his donkey is literal, and what the donkey does should also be understood literally. Because it is not metaphor then. But if Jesus is metaphorical, the one who would come in spirit but not in person, then the entire prophecy should be understood in its metaphoric concept or message, not literal message. God is speaking in parables and metaphors like Jesus Christ spoke in so much in parables. So the Holy Quran also employs parables. In this case, let me turn to the hadith you are referring to and remind you that neither Jesus is literal, nor Dajjal is literal, nor his donkey is. All the prophecies have to be understood and interpreted, and there must be a spiritual key with which we solve the prophecy and understand the message. Now you have made it easier for me by mentioning the Dajjal. Jesus is mentioned to descend in the latter days, Jesus son of Mary of course, to do what? Among his functions would be to kill Dajjal, yaqtulul Dajjala, wa yaqtulul khinzir, to kill the swine, and yaksiru silib, to break the cross. These are the three functions mentioned in this prophecy. Now, if Dajjal means the same single joint-like figure, who would be so huge that while standing on the ground, his head would be above the cloud lines. He would have one single eye. That would be blind. One eye would be blind. The other eye, the single left eye, would be very bright. So bright and so powerful that it would be able to x-ray what is underneath the earth and see the treasures lying under the earth. So one eye is so bright and so brilliant, the other is absolutely blind, which is right. Now we believe that this is all metaphors. Neither one single person is mentioned as Dajjal, not real swines are mentioned in relation to Jesus killing them, not real crosses made of stone or jewels and things are meant to be literally broken by Jesus Christ. Neither Jesus is literal nor these things are literal. So our interpretation is very consistent in this regard. We believe that Jesus is a spiritual representation of the old Christ, not literal. Not that he would return himself. When he comes, his main task would be to break the cross, which means to break the central argument of Christianity in favor of Trinity. This is cross. This is a symbol of cross, Trinity. So he would come and break the cross spiritually in the sense that he would provide such powerful arguments against the Trinity as if cross is broken. Not literally, of course. He would kill swine means that he would wage a war against a culture which has lost coyness and shame and decency, which is as shameless and as permissive as you find the swines. So it is, again, an expression of rejection of a cultural behavior which is not at all decent anymore. It's more like the cultural reaction of swines rather than those of human beings. So he would wage a war against those indecencies as well. When it is said that he would kill the Dajjal, it doesn't mean he would murder him with his sword. It simply means that the influence of the Dajjal would begin to wane out from the time he comes, and he would gradually dissipate. And new things would appear. There will be a revolution in the world taking place. These old huge powers will gradually lose their strength. So by Dajjal we mean great Christian powers. The symbol of Christian powers is Trinity, cross, eating of swine. So in every way you look at it, the finger is pointing at the same people, that is, in the latter days, according to this prophecy, the Christian world will become so powerful that they will rule the entire world. And this would be the stature of Christianity, as symbolized in a great giant against whom nobody has any power. This giant is described in the Hadith as conquering every land, every people of the world. And in the rise of the West, in the current history, or the previous history, you find not an inch of land left unoccupied, ungoverned by the superior might of the Western nations. There was a time, where either it was ruled by the British or by the Russians or by the Germans or by any other Europeans or even Americans, but the whole globe fell under the sway of Christian powers. This is exactly what has been prophesied by Hazrat Muhammad regarding the advent of Dajjal. So we see as having been fulfilled that Dajjal has come, that fight has begun. And what is the main instrument in the hands of Hazrat Masih Maud al-Islam through which he broke the cross into two? His claim that Jesus died a natural death. He did not die upon cross. And he died like an ordinary prophet of Allah, so he was not little son of God.